Hi, I'm Darren Walker. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Athletics, 4 games into his first season, I sit down with head soccer coach Lance Key. Later, we're joined by volleyball head coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenot to revisit the Doubletree Classic. Later, we'll take a look at the welcome back convocation for the student athletes. But first, head coach Billy Napier recaps the Ragin Cajuns football showdown in New Orleans with Mississippi State. Brought to you by Sonic. You're watching Inside Louisiana Athletics. Hello and welcome to the season premiere of Inside Louisiana Athletics. I'm Darren Walker, joined by the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns football team, Billy Napier. And Coach, let's get into it. What was it like for you personally to be back on the sideline? I know you relish these Saturday afternoons in the fall.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people, just going into the game. So much time and effort, put into preparing for the season by the players and the staff. And, just to be guaranteed 12 opportunities is crazy, But I do think you got to take that approach. You got to embrace those opportunities. There's something special about it. It's what makes football a unique game. We prepare year-round for these opportunities. And certainly I felt like our kids were ready to play.
Not the greatest of starts. Let's get to the game now. Not the greatest of starts. Busted coverage on the first drive led to a 31-yard touchdown, and Mississippi State went up 7-0. And then on the first play of the game, Levi gets picked. So what was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I knew where we were at. Just kind of observing and watching. I felt like we were much improved. Certainly, much more competitive. Made a couple critical errors on the first possession. They had some explosive plays. And certainly the opening play there, the route distribution wasn't great, and certainly Levi made a poor decision. But, we kind of settled in. Maybe there was a little anxiety early, but felt like once we kind of got our breath there, guys started settling in, competing and playing one play at a time, and, proved to be very competitive throughout the day.
Yeah, the defense really stepped up at that point. Mike Jacquette comes off the edge, blasts the quarterback, forces the fumble, and Chauncey's there to make the recovery. It really turned the momentum around.
Sure, great execution. We had an echo game over there to the boundary as well. Joe Dillon did a nice job executing that. Great job on the upfield shoulder on the quarterback by Mike. And really tremendous effort to make the recovery. Guys really playing with great effort to get in position to cover that ball up.
Later in the first, we're punting, and the ball hits one of the Mississippi State guys on the leg, and deep snapper Paul Boudreaux's right there to recover it. And then 3 plays later, Elijah Mitchell goes in to tie the game.
Yeah, great heads-up play by Brendan Johnson, one of the new players that we added to the team. One of their coverage guys got in position there, or blockers. We pushed him into the ball. Paul was in position. We covered it there, and certainly put 3 good plays back-to-back there and was able to capitalize on their mistake.
In the second quarter, the Dogs go up 14-7, but the offense comes right back and answers on the ensuing drive. Levi finds Nick Ralston for the touchdown, and given the injury situation at the tight end position, that had to feel pretty good seeing that. Yeah,
overall, that room and that group really played well. All 4 players that played in the game at that position had really nice days, No issues at all throughout the day with how they performed, and really showed up and really rose to the occasion. But that was one of the better possessions of the day on offense. Really had some rhythm there, playing in a 2 tight end grouping. Lots of players making plays, really well blocked runs, certainly some good move the pocket throws for Levi, really well executed drive.
Mississippi State adds another score to take a 21-14 halftime lead. They scored 2 more times in the third and fourth quarter. So with 12:59 left in the game, you're down by 21. And just when folks were probably ready to write us off, boy, we come right back and put a nice 9-play, 69-yard drive. That made it 35-21.
Yeah, I felt like kind of that end of second, early third, we kind of didn't play those situations very well as a team. Missed out on some opportunities. Felt like we could get some points right before the half, 2 minutes before the half, didn't execute very well there. And then certainly sputtered a little bit, but caused us some self-inflicted wounds. Had a personal foul that set us back, had a really good possession going there. So give Mississippi State some credit. They made some plays. They flipped the field on us a couple of times there, was able to take advantage of the punt return. So tons of teachable moments. Those are scenarios that we've worked throughout spring practice, throughout training camp. Really a reality check for our players in terms of, hey, we've covered those and we didn't win those situations.
Mm-hmm. Defense forces a quick punt, which was downed at the 1 yard line, but another great drive, a thing of beauty really, 14 plays, 99 yards, and that was finished with a Trey Regas 17-yard touchdown run, and that made it a one-score game with just 2:45 to go.
Yeah, really, that's the way we want to execute backed up offense. Get out of there, get a first down. Really good play there by Levi and Trey. Great execution to kind of get us out of a hole, and then we mixed it up a little bit throughout that possession. Really good, well-blocked runs, great throw and catch in that possession. Levi to Jamarcus. And then certainly we ran outside zone right into a pressure on that last touchdown. Really good job by the freshman left guard Osiris Torrance and the freshman tight end Neil Johnson at the point of attack there. So great way, made it tight there at the end and had a chance.
Mm-hmm. Don't get the onside kick though, and then State adds a field goal to take a 38-28 lead, which winds up being the final score. I want to talk about Levi a little bit because obviously he's going to get the spotlight. Again, we talked about the pick on the first play, and then he had one on the last play, allegedly. But anyway.
That play's been determined, not an interception. Okay. The ball hit the ground.
Gotcha.
The guy batted the ball down. It was a misreported
But
stat.
just give me your thoughts on Levi's performance.
You could see once the guy kind of settled in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a terrific player. He's got unbelievable mobility, quickness, ability to escape, extend the play. He'll be a threat as a runner as well once we get into that those types of concepts. But, he's really caught the ball well, certainly managed a lot of situations well. Definitely some things that he can learn from. And I think that's going to be good for him going forward.
Levi's favorite target on the day was Jamal Bell, 8 catches for 113 yards, really turned some heads.
Yeah, year 2 for Jamal. We added him in the summer last year. Jamal came from a rural town in East Texas, not much coverage coming out of high school, went to junior college, kind of paid his way. He's kind of done it the old school way, paid his way, created an opportunity for himself. Last year, he'd probably tell you I was on his tail every day. He was one of the guys that maybe wasn't up to par, but he responded. He had a great offseason, really good fall camp. He's got great tools, and I was really impressed with his toughness and the way he competed throughout the game. So excited about Jamal's future.
Let's talk about this week, the home opener for the Ragin Cajuns. Liberty coming into town, 6:30 kickoff at Cajun Field. Not a lot to go on with these guys because you only got one game and new staff.
Yeah, new staff. Certainly Coach Freeze has an extensive history as an offensive coach and play caller. And then Scott Simons, their defensive coordinator. Came from Memphis, but was a coordinator at West Georgia, Division II school in Georgia for a number of years. Really good coach, and they've got a pretty good special teams background that we're up to date on as well. So, we run into these scenarios a lot. Certainly, Coach Freeze has always had very competitive teams, very well coached teams, and this team will be no different. But it's a great opportunity for us to create some momentum. Certainly, defending our home turf at Cajun Field, and the first chance for this team to debut in our backyard with our home fans showing up and packing the swamp.
All right, appreciate the time, Coach. We'll have him back next week. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Heather Mercedes-Fontenot will talk to us about her Doubletree Classic tournament this past weekend and the upcoming Sawyer Camillo Memorial Classic.
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this.
Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Darren Walker joined by the head coach of the Ragin Cajuns volleyball team, Heather Mercedes-Fontenot, in her 12th year at the helm of the volleyball team. How does that feel?
It's crazy. I really think that I never really thought that I would be here this long, only in terms of I ended up meeting my husband here. Mm-hmm. So, of course, now I'm here for a very long time, and I love it.
Let's talk about you guys opened up the season this past weekend with the Doubletree Classic. Didn't get the results you were looking for on the scoreboard, but what were some of the positives that you can take away from this weekend?
Well, the positives is that we were winning in every single set, in every single match, and then we allowed our opponent to come back due to our own errors, offensive errors, and which is a very fixable problem. Another super positive thing is we outdug every opponent for the entire weekend, and so which gave us a lot of opportunities to score, and we just weren't handling those very well. But the defensive side of the ball is really a big positive for us.
So what are some of the things that you think you can build on from these last 3 games?
Oh, I think that obviously, you know, there's winners and learners, as Coach Robichaux used to say, right? And, you know, had we won, we wouldn't have learned so much. And so we're just going to, you know, we spent all of preseason almost working on our defense. And that, again, it put our offense kind of on the back burner. And now our offense will take precedence, and hopefully our defense can hold strong, and I think we'll be fine. Gotcha.
This weekend, the Sawyer Camillo Memorial Classic. You have McNeese, Eastern Michigan, Florida A&M coming to town. Besides the volleyball aspect of the tournament, talk about what this whole event means to you personally.
Yes, I don't know how to put it into words. I just spoke with Sawyer's mother this morning, Lori, and she informed me that they weren't going to be able to come down for the tournament, which usually they do. But, you know, as our team sits now, I'm the only one now that knew Sawyer that's left, and it just really helps my heart to know that she's still part of our program, and she is missed every single day, because by this time, you know, she and I had a plan so that by this time she would have been on my staff. Once she graduated, she and I were going to coach together, and so I think about those things as well, but she's always with us.
Talk about your atmosphere at Earl K. Long, historic Earl K. Long, as we always say. But just talk about that atmosphere when it's really rocking and loud in there, and the home court advantage that you guys have in that building. Well,
I tell you, it's really tremendous because, you know, you put 500-600 people in there, and it is, I don't know what the decibels would be, but it's amazingly loud, and you can't hear yourself, and the crowd is so supportive. Even, you know, this weekend when the score wasn't going our way, if we did one great thing, you know, the place would just erupt. And with the new concessions prices, our Friday night game had a lot of people there, which was really nice too. But you know, it's super loud. There's a ton of fans all the time, and very, very supportive of us.
You have 2 games on Friday at 1:30 and 6:30, and then another one at 12:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. Make your pitch. Tell folks why they should come out to see your girls and all the hard work that they've put in.
Awesome. Come on out to the historic Earl K. Long Gym to watch your Cajuns in the Sawyer Camillo Classic. And the great thing is we have Florida A&M coming in town. They've never played here before. Also, Eastern Michigan coming in. They've never played here before. And we want to show them what Cajun spirit is all about.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, we take a look at the student-athlete's favorite event, the Welcome Back Convocation.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Welcome back. As students return for the fall semester, Louisiana Ragin Cajuns student athletes, faculty, and staff were reunited for the student athletes' favorite event of the year, the Welcome Back Convocation. Let's have a look.
Tonight's a very special night. We honor our Student Athlete of the Year nominees. Every sport nominates one. And we have our Welcome Back Convocation where we really celebrate every good thing that our athletic department does in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play. It's a great time for us to get together to recognize the successes of our coaches, assistant coaches, our sports medicine staff, equipment, everything good that people sometimes don't get recognized for. Tonight we really give we take a time to honor them and celebrate them.
An opportunity for all of our student athletes to come together, our returners plus our new students who for the very first time will get a good taste of Ragin Cajuns athletics. But really important to just again celebrate our accomplishments. So often we move right to the next thing, and tonight's all about reflecting, really being thankful for what we've been able to do, but most importantly, recognize those student athletes who've accomplished so much this past year.
The Welcome Back Convocation is good for all the athletes. It shows the recognition to the athletes who are deserving. And it's also good to see everybody again. We come back to school and, we're back with our sports, and, it's good to kind of be in the camaraderie of all of our other Ragin Cajun athletes and, to really see their achievements.
Tonight is an excellent opportunity for our student athletes to relive all of the success that we had last year and get excited about what's to come this year. So they get to share this moment with their teammates, their parents, professors, and their coaches, and it's really just a special time for us to all be together and experience what being a Ragin Cajun is all about.
This type of event is very important because it's seldom that we get to have all the student athletes in one place. Also, it's nice to see them being rewarded in front of their peers so everyone can know how well they've done throughout the season.
It's an exciting time for them, and it's a great way to kick off the new year. This season, they performed well in each sport, across all of our sports. All of our student athletes have performed well. So it's an exciting opportunity for them, and it's great to see them all dressed up and ready to be flashy. They take pride in it, so it's a great opportunity for us to see them in a different light and for them to see us in that light as well, and for us to celebrate all of the successes of our student athletes.
I've done this for 3 years, and it's kind of awesome to end my senior year being named the Male Student Athlete of the Year. I feel kind of validated in all the hard work I've done, but also I feel so honored and privileged because of the people that were also nominated. And I know that the award means so much to so many people, and I know they believe in me and they think that I'm a good person, and it really just has touched my heart to know that and know that people feel that way about me. And getting to say hi to all of our athletes and seeing all them all dressed up is always fun. Everybody gets a cookie after, so it was epic.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, 4 games into his first season, I sit down with head soccer coach Lance Key.
Sonic's got all my fair faves.
Cheddar peppers, 99-cent corn dogs, Oreo a la mode. I love the fair. All the prizes you can win.
Totally. Do you win all those?
Winning's for suckers. I bought these.
Hurry in. Fair faves start at 99 cents and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
We are a young conference, full of energy, passion, and pride. And we won't rest until we've made our mark. Our accomplishments have earned us a place among the top of the college football world. But we're just getting started. We've still got a lot of growing to do. And the future is for the young. Sun Belt is proud to be a part of 150 years of college football.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Sonic's got all my fair faves.
Cheddar peppers, 99-cent corn dogs, Oreo a la mode. But there's no chicken on the Fair Faves menu, right?
No. Why do you ask?
No reason. You're safe.
Hurry in. Fair Faves start at 99 cents and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Darren Walker joined by the head coach of the Ragin Cajun soccer team, Lance Key. And Coach, your first game as the head coach last week, talk about being on the sideline. You had to be pumped about getting your era started.
Yeah, it's been a great experience from the time that I stepped onto campus and stepped into Lafayette 6 months ago, whatever it is now. And it was phenomenal to finally get to that point where the work that you put in through the spring and through the summer and just trying to get the transition, it didn't matter where we were in the transition phase, we were on game day. And so it was great to get back out on the field and be back in that setting, be back in that mode, and have the kids working with purpose come for regular season.
Right. You guys were real road warriors here the last couple of weeks. Trip to Texas, playing 2 games there, and then a trip to Illinois for 2 games up there. Talk about having your team on the road. I know sometimes that can really be a bonding experience for them.
Definitely. So the first weekend in Lamar, in Beaumont, was an out and back for both of those events. This past weekend, obviously, to Illinois was not an out and back, thankfully. So certainly from a preseason and early season stage, being on the road can be a great experience for them. And there's a lot of new faces. We've got 9 new faces in the locker room already this year. And getting them together and getting them to understand who their teammates are, if we want to try to create any kind of camaraderie and cohesiveness, those types of things are important. And so it was great in that regard. We got to travel together, and obviously the results got better this past weekend than they were the first weekend, and results matter too. But the relationships is something that we've spent a lot of time talking about, and then building and developing that rapport with each other and understanding who each other is and what each other's needs are, not just on the field, but in the locker room, in the classroom, everywhere, and making sure that we have some camaraderie within the group. And so I think we've been able to do a good job of that over the first 2 weeks here.
Let's talk about those results. You dropped the first 2 in Texas, but then you go up to Illinois, and you play a game where you had 7 combined goals in the second half. You score your goal with 3 seconds left to force a double overtime, and it ends up in a 4-4 tie. But what a unique soccer game.
I'm still trying to figure it out. You don't often see 4-4 results. You don't often see a game-tying goal in the last 3 seconds of the match. So there's a lot of you don't often sees in that match, and I think for us, although it was an exhilarating game, and there was a lot that we can take away from it, I think there was an element of disappointment at the end of the match because we were up 2-0.
Right.
50th minute, we go up 2-0. First half, we had 60% of the ball and really felt like we were in control of the game and control of the rhythm of the game and dictating it. And then to concede the way that we did, kind of 3 right in a row in a pretty short time span, was disappointing. But what was encouraging was that we got back to 3-2 after being up 2-0, going down 3-2, going back 3-3. And then it was really disappointing to then go down 4-3. And things looking, I mean, like you said, you're in the final minute, the ball's on our defensive end, it doesn't look like we're very near scoring a goal, and then through a series of events and kind of a sequence of in and of themselves uniqueness, there was a stoppage of the clock with just a few seconds left on the clock, and that's not typical. And that allowed us to set up a set piece and go and put it on frame, and then there was kind of a melee in the 6-yard box, and we tucked it in for an equalizer, and nothing really happening in the two overtime periods. But great to score 4 goals in a single match. We just have to solve the issue of conceding 4 goals a match, and that's something we spent a lot of time talking about.
So let's talk about results. 2 losses, a tie, and then you finished the trip up with a 2-0 win over Chicago State.
Yeah, last night, yesterday afternoon, I should say, was great. It was our first win of the year, our first shutout of the year, which we had been talking about how important that is. You know, I'm not the greatest of scholars, but if you don't concede goals, it makes it easy to win games, or easier anyway. And then when you score goals, it also makes it easier. So putting those two together makes sense. Chicago State are a tricky one. They've got some international players and with a lot of flair, a lot of individual ability. And so several players on the field for them can create their own scoring opportunities at any point in time. And so playing a team like that requires a tremendous amount of discipline, and we really focused on our discipline yesterday. You know, it's a turf field, which is different than what we're typically used to playing on. So there was some element to the match that we had to solve in and above just their uniqueness as a team. And at the end of the day, we did a pretty good job. We got away with 2 goals in the second half, and kept a clean sheet and walked away with a W.
Well, congratulations on your first win as the Ragin Cajuns head coach. They will be back in action this Thursday night when they host Southern at the home opener. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, we take a look at the upcoming schedule.
So here at UL Lafayette, a lot of the classrooms and a lot of the programs here are trying to implement technology as much as we can. It's, advancing every day. So a lot of the classrooms try to build on the technology and help you prepare for day-to-day life that you will actually use whenever you start your career. I absolutely love the university app. It's super helpful. I use the mobile app to check emails, to do all my finances on my phone, my schedule of classes. In our Moodle program, it's basically an online classroom for each class where you can talk to your professor, turn in assignments, chat with classmates to keep up with the classroom. And it's very helpful whenever you can just check an assignment or check when a due date is right then and there on your phone instead of having to open up a laptop and do all that.
So to take an online class, it was super user-friendly, super easy to understand. The PowerPoints were so easy to follow. The teacher was talking through the PowerPoint. It was like a video. So it was just so cool to be able to almost be in a class and not be in a classroom at the same time, and I can take it at my own pace.
It really helps me stay on top of my game and succeed here at UL Lafayette.
Thanks for watching the season premiere of Inside Louisiana Athletics. We leave you now with a look at the upcoming schedule.